In step 2, I'm going to teach you how to plan for Pesach so you can efficiently and systematically tackle the project. Hi, welcome to step 2. Step 2 is planning your Pesach preparation. So why is planning important? Why don't we just jump into the cleaning? Why would we take time to do another thing when there's so much to already do? So I have two answers to that question. One is if we just jump into the cleaning and start working right away and we don't know when things are going to happen, then in our heads it's like everything has to be done right now. And so at the end of the day, if something wasn't done, we're going to end up with a feeling that we're a little bit stressed out, a little bit dissatisfied that we haven't finished everything, when in fact Pesach cleaning, like we said before, is a process. So we're not going to get it all done right away. When we plan and we get it down on paper, we can see that, okay, I didn't get that done today, but I had planned for it to be done a week from now. So I can go to bed at night feeling like, okay, everything's okay. The other thing about planning, the other benefit to planning, is that it allows us to do a mind dump. It allows us to take Pesach out of our mind. Why is that so important? Because we have so many other things on our mind. We've got our kids and our family and our house and whatever work we're doing on ourselves and our cooking and our cleaning and everything else that's on our head. We really don't need a whole nother major project inside our head. Once we get it down on paper, then we tend to obsess less about it. We don't have to keep thinking and remembering, what is it I forgot to do, or what is it I forgot I'm going to have to do. So now that we know what the benefits are of planning, we need to also address the problems that come up with planning. A lot of you are listening and saying, oh, I just want to go into the cleaning. I don't want to plan. And I understand that. Because a lot of us believe that there's a right way and a wrong way to plan. And if our mind is not detail-oriented, then we'll never get to the right way to plan. Also, a lot of us start comparing ourselves to others when we plan. Are they farther along? Did they do a better planning than me? Another problem with planning is that once we've planned, if we don't follow that plan 100%, we tend to feel bad about ourselves. So when I talk about planning and I suggest that you plan your Pesach preparation, I'm not talking about a right or a wrong way to plan. I'm talking about knowing yourself and planning in a way that works for your mind. We all have different minds, so there can't possibly be one right way to plan. Those who are detail-oriented may want to take a clipboard and go into every room of the house and write down in every room of the house what it is they want to do to prepare for Pesach. And those who are detail-oriented will then take all those things that they wrote down and they'll sit with the calendar and they'll fit into the calendar when each thing will happen. If you're detail-oriented, you'll think about what has to be done closest to Pesach so that I can cook for the Seder night. They'll think about when am I going to clean the ovens and when am I going to clean the fridges and when am I going to put in shopping for Pesach and when am I going to buy new clothes for Pesach. People who are detail-oriented will do the planning that way. People who prefer to see the bigger picture and not go into all the little details might prefer to do a mind map. You'll see a mind map on the screen now, which is you write Pesach planning in the center, put a circle around it, and then put branches to all the things that you think you might want to do in terms of Pesach cleaning and preparation. Those who make a mind map might not want to put the information into their calendar. That might be too much detail for them. They might prefer to just put the mind map as it is on the fridge, and each day as they do things to prepare for Pesach, just mark them off that mind map or put a sticker on or something to celebrate that they've done something. The other possibility is to take a bunch of papers and just write on one paper day of Seder, on another paper, week of Seder, on another paper, week before, 2 weeks before, and then 3 to 6 weeks before. And then on each page, the person can write on there what they think should happen around that time of the month. Then you might have people who have a more creative mind and a more flowing nature. They might not want to do any detailed or big picture planning. They might just want to create a vision for themselves. They might want to cut pictures out of a magazine and a picture that relates to something they're going to do for Pesach, glue it into the calendar. So there are so many different ways of planning. And the purpose of my telling you and teaching you about planning is because I believe that one of our mental chametzes, one of the things that keeps us really limited, is not loving ourselves and not accepting ourselves. If during your Pesach planning and Pesach preparation, you can get to a place where you just accept the way that your mind works and plan your preparation based on how your mind works, then you will have made a quantum leap in your self-development and self-love. The last thing I want to say about planning is that the point of planning is not to get it all done exactly when we said we would. Not even to get everything that we said we would get done. The point of planning is to get it down on paper, out of your head, and then when you look at the plan, something really interesting happens. A lot of times I'll say to my clients, okay, you made this weekly plan. Now look at it and tell me, is your heart beating fast? Are you feeling sick? Are you starting to go pale? Because if that's the case, then you've planned something that's not right for you. It's not precise for you. You're going into a struggle. The whole purpose of planning is to take you out of that struggle. So if you find that you planned and you're going into a struggle, either mental or physical, something's happening in your body, then that's a good sign to look again at what you planned and see how you can tweak it to design it so that your life feels good to you. Maybe it will mean delegating to other people. Maybe it will mean doing things that will make your life easier at this time of year, like buying paper plates or getting extra help. Maybe it will mean planning differently. Maybe you didn't think it through and you just put too much into a day. Maybe you'll notice once you've done your planning that you didn't put in time for yourself, and you might wonder, what's that all about? So planning, getting it down on paper, gives us a lot of information about ourselves, and that's what I love about it, is that chance to design our life the way that we want it to be and not to just fly by the seat of our pants all the time. So any way that you choose to plan now is going to make a difference in your Pesach preparation. Anything that you do, whether it's detail or big picture or flowing creative planning, whatever you do is already going to give you some sense of relaxation, and it will give you a sense of efficiency that you might not have had if you hadn't written it down or thought about it. So I hope you'll join me for the next video when we'll talk about step 3, which will help you with the transition between Chametz life and Pesach life.